Good morning, everyone. This is the performance knowledge-based examination in world literature. Literature. I define the literature. Literature is a term used to describe written and sometimes spoken material. Literature derived from the Latin meaning, which is writing formed with letters. Literature most commonly refer to works of the creative imagination, including poetry, drama fiction, non-fiction, and in some instances, journalism and song. What is literature? Literature is the total of preserved writing belonging to a given language or people. Or also, literature is the class or the total of writing of a given country or period, is which notable from literacy form of expression, as distinguished on the one hand from works merely of technical or erudite, and on the other from journalistic or other ephemeral writings. Why study? Why we study literature? To express oneself, or many reasons why we study literature. To express oneself, to have access culture, to recognize human dreams and struggles, to develop mature sensitivity and compassion for the condition of all creation, to appreciate beauty, to shape one's goal and values and clarify one's own identity, or the last one, to develop wider perspective of events. There are some example of literature, like the fiction, the non-fiction, the manuscript, the poetry, the contribution to collection of works, and the last one example is the compilation of data or other literary subject matter. Next, let's proceed to the Now, let's proceed to the Afro-Asian literature. The Afro-Asian countries usually cared for their family first. Yes, the Filipino is very family-oriented. That is the one of the, yun yung unang ugali or merong ugali ganyan ang Filipino. Then they are found of their social values and especially their love for their own country. What we call is love for country. Meron tayong 4 core values. And then, they are also active in celebrating festivals that reflect their own characteristic as an Asian. Yes, we are celebrating our own cultures and many festivals and other tradition na ating nakasanayan. Also, they are religious because they give importance to the Creator by giving thanks and offering prayer to Him. Yes, Philippine is also known as isa sa pinakamatayog na pananampalataya. Marami tayo dito, different religions who are giving important to the Creator. Yes naman, marami tayong naniniwala tayo that God is the creator of all. Next, they are also active if we talk about literature because they are good writers. Yes, marami naman tayong good writers. And those good writers ay nagiging famous at kilala dito sa atin. Kagaya si Francisco Baltasar na isa siyang writer. And then, they are talented on different branch of sport and arts that they are about to complete worldwide. Yes, we are Filipino that very talented, and the other Asian countries, and the other what is this? There are people who show their talent in the different competition. That is the Afro-Asian literature. More on focus in this Afro-Asian literature is about the norms and culture of Africa and Asia. There are some, or this is the countries under the Afro-Asian literature. First, our country, the Philippines. The next one is the South Korea, the North Korea, Vietnam, Japan, Saudi Arabia, China, India, Egypt, Israel, Thailand, Africa, Malaysia, and Indonesia. The Afro-Asian literacy works were handed by mouth from generation to generation to entertain, educate, and remind the people about their past, heroic deeds, or their people ancestry and culture. Yes, the Afro-Asian literacy, it is works were handed by mouth from generation, which means pinapasa natin ito. And then, we Filipino, we are preserving our own culture, just like the other country, they are also preserving their own cultures. These are the example of Afro-Asian literature. This is work by Ngugi wa Thiong O. Ang kanyang ginawa is Dream in a Time of War and Petals on Blood. And then, again, meron namang example dito kay Nasra al-Adawi, Within Myself and Brave Faces, and The Darling Stands Against Cancer. And the last example is Things Fall Apart and Arrow of God by Chinua Achebe. Now, let's proceed to the Invictus, or sabi ko nga kayo na Invictus, sorry. It is Invictus. Invictus, meaning is unconquerable. That is, or the meaning of the Invictus is undefeated. In Latin, is a poem by William Ernest Henley. The proponent of this Invictus is William Ernest Henley. This poem is about courage in the face of death and holding on to one's own dignity despite the indignitized life placed before us. The writer, or the writer of this poem, the writer did not have a happy family, which means broken. Henley only daughter. She is the only one daughter. Si Sir William Ernest Henley is the only daughter of Margaret. Was a frail child from her birth and died when she was only 5 years old. Kawawa naman siya, no? And then, Margaret, like her father some time ago, was a prototype for Wendy, the main hero of James Matthew Barrie's short novel, Ordy. Yung ginawa ni James Matthew Barrie, yung short novel na alam ko yan, nalalaman nyo rin, which is, napapanood nyo rin, this is the Peter Pan. The Invictus work by William Ernest Henley is an inspirational poem. When, pag nababasa nyo ito, just like meron siyang poem na ginawa, this poem depict the poet attempt to motivate it himself, himself when there is no hope at all. When the poet write this poem, he has already lost one of his legs. So in such a situation of mental and physical agony, the poet tries to lift up his courage. Kaya siya nasulat ito ni Mr. or ni Sir Henry William Ernest because he is the only daughter, and also because the writer did not happy family life. The facts about William Ernest Henley, these are the facts. Henley, or Sir Henry William, Sir William Henley was the editor of many literary journals. The fact that made him one of the most influential literary figure of the late Victorian era. It is believed that the treatment Henley received from the pioneering late 19th century, Surgeon Joseph Lister was the reason why he managed to live 3 more decades after the 3-year in hospital in 1873 to 1875 in the amputation of his second leg. Thank you very much. My name is JAYSON B Justado, BSN 3 of Dr. P. Ocampo College Incorporated.